Welcome to the October 27th Glimesh team meeting. We're all in for a treat tonight. We'll be discussing our stream tag proposal, or actually our channel tag proposal, and hopefully this will be a kind of stepping point for our discussion around game databases slash stream tags slash categorization. Thanks for attending. As a reminder to anyone who is currently in our Discord, anything that you say in Discord will be rebroadcast on the internet. If you're not okay with that, make sure you don't talk. Anyone in chat, of course, your message will also be going on the internet, so just be aware of that. And then, as always, especially tonight, make sure that you're not talking over anyone. We're not getting any kind of arguments, and we're all being respectful of each other's time. So if you need to say something, make sure you tag Paco1342, and he'll make sure you get your time. So we definitely want everyone to participate. This is what these meetings are for, but we just want to do it in a way that doesn't shut down the conversation, and that hopefully will let everyone speak comfortably. So those are the ground rules. Thank you for being here. What we'll do next is we'll kind of go over some of our weekly metrics. This is kind of a ritual we do where we discuss what happened last week, what kind of metrics were we seeing, and what maybe influenced those metrics. So diving in here, I think last week the most surprising thing for me was that we actually grew almost double, maybe double and a half, our user count from the week before. Last week we grew basically, I think it was 170 or so users on the website, and now we're up to 403 new users since last Tuesday, which is a huge jump, and it's super awesome to see. And on Discord and Twitter, we had about 50 and 67 respectively join. Reddit had a mind-blowing 7 new users, but I don't really want to discount that because that's still, it's hard to get new subscribers on Reddit, and that's almost 200 people at this point who have said, yes, I want to see this content. That is Paco's door.
Yes, it is.
And then on Instagram, we are growing. In fact, we're growing so quickly that I have to figure out how to use Instagram because people are doing things with us. They're sharing our content through their user-edited posts. So I have to learn what that means. And then on Facebook, too, we're getting not only some new followers, but we're getting a lot of traction as well for people who just are like commenting on our page. So let me pull that up real quick. Groups. Nope. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Yeah, so this is our Glimesh page, and we're actually getting like comments, people saying they're ready to go, showing off different banners, and I think, Grand Theft Auto? What is this? Is this some kind of Glimesh banner? I have no idea.
Grand Theft Auto.
But it's super cool to see this because, I had no idea this even existed. And I checked it, and this comment was posted hours ago. So even Facebook is seeing a growth. So it's super awesome to see. We had 2 new apps registered in the last week and about 93 new app authorizations. So that's super awesome. Those are all kind of developer applications that people are using or consuming. And one other thing I wanted to share, just so we understand kind of how we get users, how we get people. If I go to Glimesh TV, this is our analytics for the past 30 days. And apparently Pixel Chat brings in just as many users as our Twitter does. Now, I think, this isn't going to be perfect. This measure is not going to be perfect, but certainly it's definitely worth mentioning. So I think it's pretty awesome. Okay, cool. So that's the last thing. So yeah, I wanted to kind of mention that because I don't want to, ever devalue developer applications because they clearly have quite a power that they can bring to us. And like, I'm sure many of you are familiar. Essentially what that looks like on Pixel is we're on their homepage. There's just a little login button. You can click that. It'll take you to Glimesh, and then you can link your account. All right. Anyone have any other metrics to mention? Any questions about these metrics? Anything to add on? Anything to confront me on and insult me about? No? Okay. All right. Then we'll move on to wins. Boy, we had a lot of good wins last week. Lots of really cool things happened. Uh, we're going to have a couple of live demos here as well. So, first off, we talk about these apps numbers every week, and these are people who are developing apps for the platform, whether it's bots or services or like moderation tools or chat clients or whatever it is. And Kajasi has actually been working on one for a little while that he wants to demo for us today. So I'm going to join into Kajasi's stream here on Discord, and he's not going to show any inappropriate content because he is a good terms of service user. And take it away.
Well, this is it. This is KJBot. You guys can chat in Clone's channel, and it will show up right here.
And so this is a full third-party chat client.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. Give him the Unicode.
Yes, guys, please break it. I am logging all of this, and I need to find the problems so I can fix them. This is almost fully functional. This is like basically step one, but the biggest issue is actually some of the limitations with the API. I can't get my bot to the full potential I want it to have until the API's had a little bit more work done with it. And so, I'm just plugging along, trying to get the rest of this all to work. I mean, eventually Clone finally showed up on my viewer list. But eventually there'll be commands, timers, all bunches of stuff, and I can't show off too much. Oh wow, that actually
Zalgo.
Nice.
Zalgo, nice. That's only 7 lines of coverage. Don't worry.
Yeah. But I forget where I was going with all this. This is actually a complete rewrite of my earlier version of the same bot. And I'm basically trying to make sure that I wrote it from the ground up to use plugins. And one of the first plugins I've been writing has been for Glimesh.
That's awesome. Yeah, it looks great. And I'm happy we're able to figure out kind of how to use the API. And thank you for being one of the first to kind of experiment with it.
Oh yeah, there's definitely problems, and I will get more to that in the dev channel. But I'm just very happy that it just does this.
For sure. And then hopefully I can get off my lazy ass and make some more chat APIs. That way you can finish it.
Yes, that would be very nice.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for demoing. All right. We're going to keep going. It's probably blank by using a blank Unicode character. He doesn't do any validation right now. All right. So, yeah, let's keep going. So that's awesome. It's cool to see that. And that's kind of what's going to, I think, hopefully give us a nice competitive edge as well, is by having these kind of developer APIs and this full developer support and love from day one. I think is a really unique business proposition, and we exist, because we're open source, because we're super friendly, we're all available. We want to make sure that developers can make awesome stuff, because I think that's the culture we want to inspire here, is helping each other make cool stuff. So the next item here, so Hayden's not here to talk about it. Apparently there were a couple of meetings, but Hayden has been hard at work on kind of the next tipping point for the FTL streaming setup, by making an orchestration service that will kind of control a bunch of different nodes that we're using to scale out users. So, right now you're all connected to the same machine. So that doesn't really grow very much, because once we're at the bandwidth cap of the machine, you won't have any more viewers. And that's about, I think, 200, 250, 300, something like that, depending on your bit rate. And so what we want to do is make it so there's, an infinite number of machines that can handle the users, and then we can orchestrate that through the orchestration service that you mentioned here. So of course that is also open source on Glimesh, so you can check that out. If you're no C++ or you're interested in learning, definitely check both the JNS FTL orchestrator and the JNS FTL plugin out. They're available here, and they're both open source, so give it a try. Ask questions. Check us out in the dev channel and Discord. So that's breaking ground. Hopefully we can get this testing sometime soon. But all right, next item here, we'll do another quick demo of. So one of the things that has been kind of a sticking point for a while is kind of self-organization, getting ourselves with a clear path, a clear direction, a clear set of rules and guidelines, for us internally as volunteers. And so one of the things that has worked really well for other open organizations is to create a handbook, like a public handbook or a public guidebook or whatever, that's available, almost like a company handbook, but anyone can read it instead. And what we've done here is started to create the framework of that. So this is called the Glimesh Handbook. And it is meant to be kind of an internal guide to the company, not necessarily like our about page. This is for the users, or this is for the streamers and the audience. But what this is for us internally to be able to know, okay, what is our mission? What do we put on the website? What are our values? What do we put on the website? And then also go on to describe some of our processes, like how do we deploy the site? How do we get it to be public? All sorts of stuff. So we started progress on this. We started working on it. Hopefully we can continue to grow it and build it. And my expectation is for any volunteer who's making a new process or a new anything, that it live on the Glimesh Handbook, and I'll be enforcing that as much as I have free time. So yeah, and that's of course open source on Glimesh. You can see it right here, and all the content is readable and editable by anyone. You don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to know anything about GitHub. You can just register an account, and then you can literally see it on your screen. And when you go to edit it, you can see its markdown, just like our profile, and you can preview it in real time. So it should be pretty approachable. All right, and then the next cool thing that we launched was the new and improved FAQ page. So based on our town hall session last week, we had a bunch of questions and answers that came out of it. And we've consolidated that into a single FAQ. So if you want to check this page out, it basically goes over a bunch of different general questions, business questions, feature questions, and then kind of community questions. Boop. And I hopefully made it a little bit more consumable. I think it's our plain text pages still need a little bit of work. This is hard to read, but there you go. All right. Chat, hello. Can you send me? Wow.
Hello.
Wow, clone, great work. What a cool. Okay, thanks. I need this positive attention, or I. Oh, damn it! Fucking shit. I won. Okay. Get out of here. Stop it. All right. So yeah, like we showed a minute ago too, we also launched the chat moderator. So that's a super exciting feature where you can now go and assign on the website your moderators. You can give them different permissions. You can remove people as moderators. And then if any of your moderators have done anything in your channel, like time user out, you can also see that in your moderation log. So it's pretty cool. And then that also ties into the thing that we're launching hopefully this week as well, which is channel customization. Being able to actually customize your graphics on your channel. That's something we're super pumped about. Let me show you a quick demo here. Not a demo, a quick screenshot. Here's kind of one of the drafts we did. But this allows you to customize not only your chat background, but also of course your poster, your stream poster, or your coming soon screen or whatever you have. So you'll be able to customize this, and then this chat screen over here, and then of course also your bottom panel down here is fully customizable, and your rules are fully customizable. You can't put any kind of custom fonts or anything here, but you can do images.
A lot of people in chat are saying they've got an offline screen.
No, they're saying that this is called an offline screen.
I was wondering if people have the same issues as me. I can't connect to my Wi-Fi. Just ignore me.
You don't have Wi-Fi?
No.
When I'm streaming?
Yeah.
Wow, so when I'm streaming, Christoph can't get on Wi-Fi. Interesting. Tentacle background for chat. Okay, all right. Moving along here. All right, and then the last cool thing here, let me actually open a little dashboard here. Make sure there's no user identifiable information at a glance. Nope. So the next cool thing here is our payments have gone through. So we did subscriptions as a test about a month ago. And basically, I think about 6 of us subscribed to another 6 of us. And today, those subscriptions renewed. So we had about $15 total renew so far. So that's 3 subscriptions. And we confirmed it pulls from the bank account and all that kind of stuff. So we want to make sure payments are working very well. Don't worry about that, but boy, that's irrelevant. We want to make sure payments are working successfully, that subscriptions are working successfully, because we want to make sure that we're not charging anyone at a different time than they expect. So, all right, and then the last little bit of win here is that MJA has worked on the Glimesh community team admin panel so diligently over the past couple of weeks that he is now completely crashed and asleep and missing the meeting. So apparently that is mere moments away from being finished, and hopefully we'll be able to get it tested out soon, and that'll give our GCT a really awesome tool for being able to help our users and to be able to help moderate the platform. The last little win here is that Ember's here, in case anyone didn't notice that. It's quite a treat to have Ember join us for one of these. I was paid to say that, by the way.
You'll get your check in the mail.
Thanks, Paco. All right. Challenges. You know what our challenges are. They're always here. We don't have any new challenges. We don't have any old challenges. We just have this challenge. We are learning more. We're starting to do some testing, but it's gonna be something that we resolve, a lot closer to launch. This channel is sponsored by disgusting ASMR videos. What the fuck? How would you want to add that to this list? Oh my god, what the heck?
Yeah, we should add that to the list.
Can we just call this music/copyright
Yeah.
licensing?
Music problems.
All right. Any other challenges to mention here? Well, I don't think we're looking to get music licensing on Smart. We're just looking to understand it better. Yeah, we just want to figure out exactly what we need to do here. Because we've got our DMCA portion covered in the terms of service, but I think we need to understand what we can do to help streamers get this right the first time. And then there's a question in chat, any communication with the Pretzel guys? So we did talk with the Pretzel guys about 2 months ago. They were super excited. They loved the idea of kind of what we were doing with this, transparent, fully open streaming site. They basically just told us, along with everyone else, launch and then email us, just because they want to make sure they don't put, resources towards something that's not gonna live. So once we launch, we'll be contacting them out again to kind of start hopefully talking about a partnership. I think my dream is to be able to offer tools like Pretzel as like an included bundle with our services as a platform, that way you don't have to find things, you don't have to question things. You can do it right the easy way the first time. But that's just a dream, a silly man's dream. All right. Any other challenges? Any other wins? Anything else I forgot here? I missed here? All right. If not, we are going to jump into the content section. So this will be a session kind of led uh, by Paco. In reality, he'll be kind of our moderator for the night. We also have Haiwa is going to give an introduction to the idea and kind of talk through it. And I want to definitely thank Just Simi for providing all of these assets you're going to see tonight and creating a mock-up. And what was a matter of a couple of hours before this meeting. That way we could show off the idea, not necessarily what it will look like when we implement it, but what the idea actually is. So I want to make sure we set some ground rules. Everyone, please, of course, let's be respectful of each other. Let's not talk over each other. If you have something to say, please ping Paco on the team meeting text channel. And if you have any questions or you're left confused, please just follow up. We want to help make sure this is explained to everyone. I know there's a lot of strong opinions here as well. Just remember, we're all in this together. We're all building this together, and we all kind of want the best thing for the platform. So, all right. With that, how do we get started?
I don't know. Should I get started or should Paco get started?
I think you should get started because I have no idea what I'm supposed to be talking about.
I think you're talking about the rules of engagement, the fight rules.
Oh, yeah. First to die loses.
Okay, cool. I'm actually talking over LTE data at the moment, so if I start cutting out, please feel free to spam me in chat. Clone, what documents did you have access to the other document as well?
I have. Sorry, what was your question? Your document?
Do you have access to my document as well, or just the ones that Simi did?
I can open yours.
Okay, we may not need it, but there's like perhaps one picture we may want to reference. But basically, the idea behind the Glimesh browser, it was brought up a little bit ago that the concept for the Glimesh browser wasn't to sort by game categories. So you wouldn't necessarily go and look at the browser and see a list of a bunch of games drawn from either player.me or I can't remember the internet game database. But instead, we kind of had this idea of I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, but the Linnaeus method of animal classification, where basically you start at a upper hierarchy and it breaks down into generals and it slowly expands into larger, more micro categories. So the general idea behind the Glimesh browser was to have a general category that broke down into smaller categories. That picture is tiny. But the general idea is that when you're looking, oh, there we go. Cool. If you look down below, I took a screen capture of the list where you have gaming dash music, gaming dash party, gaming dash platform. The idea is that these would be the macro categories, kind of that top section there, and then you would use a series of tags that would essentially be your breakdown of micro categories, like getting all the way down to the minute details. These tags would essentially be visible on the main browser of, like, as you're looking at screens, you would see the tags underneath them, and a streamer could assign the tags themselves, basically. Like, there would be no set amount of tags. It's just user entry type of thing. So the kind of idea that I personally had was that the tag system would work similar to like TikTok or Twitter, where essentially it's not so much like where you type a tag and it says, hey, you can use XYZ for a tag. Like, you can only use these tags that we've created. But when you go onto TikTok, for instance, you type in hashtag Overwatch, and it gives you a big long list of tags that have been used by other users. TikTok even goes so far as to give you the actual number, like Clone's showing off there, how it's basically suggesting potential hashtags that you can use based off of that category and what's common. The idea would be is that Glimesh would be able to use a similar system where if 100 streamers are all using OW for Overwatch, you'll see that 100 guys use OW, but then hashtag Overwatch was used 1,000 times. So you'll know you want to use that tag. The idea would basically be is that you could assign multiple tags to your stream to be able to designate yourself into different categories. Whether you have an LGBT tag, whether you have a language tag, a country tag, you have whatever you want. If you're doing a cooking show, there is a huge difference between watching someone doing Texas barbecue and another person doing fine cuisine. The idea, though, was we don't want to just lump them all under cooking. We want to give them a way to distinguish themselves with the tag system. The idea would be able to have at least a minimum 1 tag, maximum of 10. Yeah, Escobar, the idea would be is that you could have hashtag veteran as a tag. It would all be custom, but it would be something where it would show you what other users have used. That way you're kind of able to stay you're able to see what is popular and what is being used on the Glimesh economy. But once their stream is tagged, it's pretty much that when you click on like gaming shooter, you would be able to filter those tags.
Hi, would you want me to show off any of these these comps?
Yeah, let's do. Yeah.
Okay, because I think one of the viewer flows here that we could illustrate as well.
Yeah. And I apologize if I end up talking too fast or something.
That's all right. Let me make sure I'm back enough here. There we go. Okay, so we start here.
Yeah.
Right, so we could click, we could actually click filter, and then you'd be able to see, either search for a filter or click one of these.
Yep. So basically, the idea is once you search for a filter, it would end up dropping, categories down as either suggestions or other common ones that would be used. After you click forward, it would end up selecting that filter. I think. Yep. So there's the example of it selecting. The idea would be is that you could select multiple categories to filter, and then after doing so, it's going to lead you to, the pages. Just the streams that are tagged with those style of filters. So the hope would be, Escobar, we have a list of 2,000 plus quote unquote bad words. That would hopefully be kind of the start of the, not having to, not having to go and, what's the word, like moderate it down to a micro level, but that bad word filter would start with the macro filter, and then as things come up, maybe something that says, hey, here's we could moderate, like here's the tags that have only had 10 uses so far. You could probably guess that most of the bad ones aren't going to have 150 uses, so you can just look through the here's the tags that have 50 uses for today and just trash out the bad ones, punish those who are using it, type of thing.
Also keep in mind that the GCT, one of the things they will be doing is looking at the tags that people are applying and making sure not only that they are in the correct place, like you don't want to have, hashtag cooking if you were playing Call of Duty, but making sure that people aren't putting things in that they should not be putting in.
Yeah, and so like the basic idea is it's not so much that everything. Do you have the? Oh wait, it says in real life, but I think this one was meant to have gaming as the title.
Yeah, this is about gaming.
But like the idea is that when you click on the gaming screen, you'll be able to type in No Man's Sky, but some people will title it NMS. So you can just throw that filter in there as well, and you would get both options in the tags and be able to find any game that you're looking for just through the tag system. The kind of the kind of benefits to doing something like this is that when you look on Twitch or Trovo or all these guys, you're bombarded with gaming content right off the bat. And cooking streams, art streams, music streams will get lumped under one giant category that when you actually go and look at it, and you have to sort through multiple different streams in order to go and see, like, you know hey, this is a painting stream versus a sculpting stream. There's no separation with their categories, and the hope would be is that you would be able to just look at an art category, have the macular view of everything going down, and then use the tag system to be able to go and find these individual ones. um, I think also, did we have another mock-up clone?
Yeah, I have one for the streamer's perspective as well, and then another one of the. This was an earlier one of like a tech-based stream, being able to tag, tag IRL, MacBook, whatever. So let me show off the streamer one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So this is actually how
So
the user would go through.
yeah. So, well, if you there hasn't been a set number, but I was thinking maybe limit it up to 10 to start, and then maybe someone would have some feedback. Hey, 10's not going to be enough for most, or like 10 is, yeah, like 10 is a lot. I'm not. I kind of want to. I think it would be best for us to leave it open at first, but at the same time, it's like there almost has to be some kind of limit to, so it doesn't start looking spammy. Say, a clone, if you wouldn't mind showing off this part of it.
Yeah. So this is just basically showing what the streamer would go through in order to set tags. We can also have some kind of interface here that the streamer could manage to be able to add those tags quickly. And we could also experiment with things like making it like Twitter, right? Where when you assign a tag, you don't have to use a specific tag interface. You can just type hello world, and then you can actually type Overwatch. And then what we could do on the back end is automatically attach that tag to your stream, and you wouldn't have to manage like a list of tags. You wouldn't have to change them awkwardly. You'd be able to use them naturally here, and then they kind of just move on. So, but for this mockup, for this purpose, for this demonstration, basically you'd go to your settings here, and then you'd click on your channel settings, and then you'd be able to see your kind of stream tags, your channel tags on the right. You could add more, be able to select from a list, either using type ahead searching, which is like where it searches for something that exists, and if it doesn't exist, you can create it. Or maybe we have a set list of tags you can use. Maybe we can help combat the ever-growing list by requiring approval before you can use it, or something like that.
Yeah, it's all still a lot of thought. That's where I kind of drew some inspiration from like the TikTok system, where they actually have like an actual set they show like 1.5 billion users have used the tag Overwatch, for instance. But then you can kind of see, and there's like one that's 4 down that only has 590 uses. That's a little sketch. The GCT could probably hop on that one and be like, yeah, no, we're gonna delete that one. But I think that it would allow people to definitely define their stream a bit more. One of the other examples that I kind of had was, if I'm a family friendly streamer, for instance, and I want to really dictate that, I want to make sure that people can find that. I don't think we have an example of this one, do we, Clone?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But yeah, basically, if I'm a family friendly streamer, I play like Animal Crossing or something. My game's Animal Crossing for that day, let's say. So I do hashtag Animal Crossing, hashtag family friendly, hashtag no bad language, hashtag relax, hashtag chill. Then you can search that throughout the system and be able to find similar streamers who use those type of things. Where meanwhile, let's say I'm the FPS rager with no filter, it's like my tags might be COD Modern Warfare, COD, Warzone, Rage, Broken Controller, no filter, 18 plus competitive type of thing. And then, for the people who want that kind of content, you're going to be able to really easily filter out exactly who you're looking for. Then,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it also kind of helps with the whole concept, like on it's always been in a debate of, do you put in a category for Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Cold War? Like, do you have all of those categories? Well, this system would allow you to just use the hashtags and everything would be under, shooter. Or yeah, like Grand Noodle is, saying, like GTA 5, for instance. um, it would I would just say use GTA type of thing. You would follow the popular tags. Like, so if you type in hashtag GTA, it would show you, hey, 1 billion people are using GTA. So you just make sure you have that. Or like GTA RP, if you want to distinguish yourself as a role play. That's where, if having, 10 tags in the system should be able to allow you to really specifically narrow it down. And we could always bring it up, bring it down, type of thing.
Yeah, and I also think that there's a little bit we can do to help the users in this situation. I think about like the stream listing page. Um, I think what we can do pretty smartly on the back end side is actually, aggregate a list of tags that are being used for different text streams, and maybe even show them up here, as quick buttons. And so maybe it's a popularity sort quick button, but the streams, once you get into a tag, are not sorted by popularity. So maybe we're helping drive the GTA V tag and not the GTA by making it, the top one up here. You shouldn't have to type in multiple tags to indicate the same game. Yeah, I don't think that wouldn't be intended. Now, of course, that's going to happen. I think no matter what, that's going to happen.
I think too, with tag system, I'm sure that there is some element that could, like, Clone can confirm this, but I would think that if you had, just hashtag GTA 5, that the system would be able to recognize like GTA streams type of thing. Kind of like a contains, maybe like a wild card type of
Yeah, I mean,
tag or
it's still a
something.
search. You can search for whatever. I, I just don't think that's going to prevent streamers. I also think that it's not going to prevent streamers from just using the most popular tags on the on the site, regardless of if they're streaming that content or not, just to try and get those additional viewers in. Um, and I think that's just going to be a problem that we have. But the point of tags is that they're a little more lightweight, than attaching yourself to games individually.
Yeah, I think that
Yes.
I think that
Yes.
it would. Um, I think that at least this system would allow freedom and equality for everyone, because it would allow cooking streams to be very specific in their, different arts and whatnot. Baking, barbecue, fine cuisine, like, you know, cultural type of dining doesn't deserve to just be lumped under one general sum category. And then at the same while, it's like the same for art. It's just very difficult to search when those are lumped onto a just larger category. Um, and I think that having a system in place where the you are talking about a macro level and then moving down to micro and using the tags to define that would end up helping, every stream in the long run to have more visibility, especially when they're very, how would you put it, niche type of stream.
And also, I mean, you have to remember it also affords freedom. Like you can choose the level of detail you want to put into that. Like you can absolutely use the maximum amount of tags to make sure you're having as much coverage as possible. Or if you just want to play Minecraft, just hashtag Minecraft, boom, you're in the game because you don't feel like dealing with it. It's up to you how much detail and effort you want to put into that as well.
Right, and this is another point, Echo, I think that's very important. Echo says it's like a GTA racing tag um, could get recognized as the same category as a GTA RP, but I think it's also like a feature that the tag system would support inherently that a game database wouldn't. It would basically be that you can search for GTA RP specific streams, because I know that a lot of people prefer to watch that, versus Grand Theft Auto Racing, which is a very much different game, even though it's the same underlying game. and I think that's what's some of the other power there is that this will be entirely community driven. The community will come up with their own tags that they use. They'll come up with little insider tags that they will use for the various games that exist, or nicknames. And I think that this gives us the ability to support that without having to constantly maintain a growing database of every game in existence, for example. Wake up, Paco. Tia, we can answer that question towards the end of the stream. It's not super relevant for what we're talking about right now, but we also have a terms of service that we're writing that helps answer that question.
Yeah, that's pretty much the kind of gist of the idea is that the goal would be more like as far as general categories would be keeping things on a macro level, but letting the tags define the micro level within each one, so that it kind of allows for an expanse of broader search categories, a broader filter base to be
Right.
able to find more specifics, getting right down to the nitty gritty of what you want in your have in your tags.
Yeah. Yeah. And resonant virus, I think one of the one of the things here is that we're not limiting discovery at all with tags. So this is an example interface, like a mock-up. So in real life streams would show up. When you click IRL at the very top, you get bombarded with every type of stream. You'd have your nature streams, your science streams, your tech streams, whatever. And then within each of the streams, you also have different tags that kind of categorize the content. And what I would imagine also you'd have on this interface is under the in real life, maybe you'd have a list of popular tags or a list of tags that are hot right now or whatever it is. And then you can click those just to help filter yourself down even more. So by default, you get all the streams and you get them in an order that's not specific by viewers, that's not limited to the individual game maybe you're trying to watch. And then once you filter down to party streams, the party pooper streams apparently, it would actually take you back to the list, with the party pooper streams. That way, you're not limiting the content; you're just filtering it. Another question was, how do you deal with games that use competing acronyms? So, Team Fortress 2 and Titanfall 2. Well, does anyone play Titanfall? Just kidding.
Ouch.
On occasion.
I mean, TF2 is way better, so I just wanted to.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know.
I think what would eventually happen is that because it would be a basis of what the community establish, that more and more, like a lot of people call TF2 Team Fortress 2, Titanfall 2 is both TF2. But I think that if you wanted to really like as a community distinguish between the two, the tag would eventually become Titanfall 2, Team Fortress 2, and it would just, kind of auto populate as those. And then, we could even probably have something where it's just in the realm of like the tag's going to auto suggest the top ones, and so it should be easier to assign them as it gets built by the community. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say on it. That's just kind of the general idea. Um, we're just trying to create a full, like a full equal way for streamers to be discovered and to not have like a um, overbearing subcategory section, but something that can really define to individual streamers' personalities.
Yeah, and like just we looked at a lot of options. We've looked at several different ways of doing it and kind of weighed pros and cons, and we feel like there's a lot of um like advantages to be had with a system like this.
Yeah. Is there any other? So there's not a lot of feedback here, um, or at least there has been feedback kind of continuously. I think for me, where I'm standing is I'm not sure. So I'm not sure that this is. I think this is easier overall for us to implement because it's also the better solution for non-gaming content. But I also think that the way we've been talking about this tonight and what we've been showing, it also appears to be a good amount to implement, right? We have to support this tag system. We have to support this like typing, this type of headability of being able to select tags, to be able to show, um, a list of tags that are popular. We have to be able to have tags that are embedded in the certain categories that we have available. There's a lot to consider. There's a lot of effort, I think, behind this as well. There's a lot of effort behind the game database. I think the one advantage this gives us is that this does help the art streams, the music streams, the text streams, the IRL streams, the education streams. It helps the other 5 types of streaming that we support, and so I definitely like it for that reason. Yes, yeah. So searching is just going to be everything. So you search. There's going to be a search bar here. You search, and then it's going to search title, user, category, tag. It's going to search just everything, and then you'll have to kind of filter in to get exactly what you want. There's a lot of content. Oh my gosh. I mean, and you got to remember. I mean, we're not dealing with just a tag. We're not dealing with just a individual tag. When you get to a stream page, and this is an awful example because I have a white background here. Let me refresh. There we go. Still awful because the title is in the same in the way. But once you get to this, and once we expand on the system a little bit more, you're seeing not only the title, you're seeing the tags, you're seeing the image of the actual game. If you wanted as a streamer, you could put a tag of GTA and then call your stream, the stream title, GTA 5 RP. Like you can add these all together as part of your stream. And then it's not only the tag, but also the title, but also the image, but also your user that ties all these things together. I don't think we have any plans on doing custom thumbnails. I don't know exactly where that came from. But that's not really. We have to talk about what that means for live streams because it's live content.
Custom thumbnails was one of the ideas on the Trello board to be able to establish a custom thumbnail, and then when people mouse over your custom thumbnail, it would just kind of do your like general like PowerPoint version of your stream. Was one of the ideas on the Trello board.
Yeah. So we never really committed to that idea. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's not. It's definitely not part of alpha at all. Jen, are you talking about thumbnails? Oh, sorry. It gets confusing when you don't specify. Okay, and I think one of the most important things here is like this is going to grow and evolve over time. I think we'd be foolish to think that we're going to be defining how this exactly works. I think a lot of people are gonna run wild with this, and we're gonna see things that we never even seen before. Just like we saw with the user profile pages, just like we're gonna see with the stream customizations here, the chat backgrounds. There's gonna be some that are awful. There's gonna be some totally crazy tags and totally crazy chat backgrounds. But again, that's the flexibility we're offering, and I think one of the main advantages we have. So. Yeah, sure, Grand Noodle Light, but also can't titles and can't thumbnails.
I think he's talking about like a viewer being able to add a tag to a streamer's page.
Oh no!
How'd
I
that
would
work?
say only the streamer is adding tags.
Yeah, no, only the streamer set tags. I don't think we're. I don't think a user should be able to modify a stream at all in any fashion.
No.
Moderators, yeah. Oh well. Okay,
I could
so.
definitely see.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was saying, like, definitely see like a moderator with like an editor style role being able to do something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think a channel editor or a global community member or Glimesh team community team member could do that. Yeah, we don't have that functionality now, and it's not in scope for the alpha launch, but I definitely agree with that.
There is a line in the TOS that allows the GCT to change stream information. That's mostly to either be a benefit to the streamer or to keep the community safe from, um, what's the word? I'm drawing blank on English right now.
Words
Um,
I don't want to see.
yeah,
Yeah, and just to be clear, the GCT, the only time we're going to edit your title or your tags or anything without checking with you is going to be if there's something that's not supposed to be there. You know, obviously you have like inappropriate things or racial slurs, things like that. We'll remove those without saying, "Hey, do you mind if we change?" No. Now, if we say, "Hey, you might be better served by, putting this tag on your stream if you'd like, I can add that for you." That's something we could do as well.
I do think that one of the downsides to the idea of tags is that it's definitely going to be a learning curve for a lot of streamers. But I think once that people get the hang of it, that you'll find that being able to distinguish yourself as a speedrunner streamer and like having that community embrace you, or having like, hey, this is 100% complete stream. Like, we play a game until we've unlocked every single item in this entire thing. Having that ability to be able to distinguish yourself down to that level is going to be really good. Or like, hey, I'm a streamer who only cooks steaks, like this is a steak only stream type of idea. I think it will end up being something that the community will really enjoy, but it'll definitely be learning a learning curve.
Yeah, I agree. Just Simi, did you want to mention something?
Yeah, the thing is with this system, with having like tags and stuff, like in if you look at marketing itself, tags are extremely important these days. It's even more extremely important than like on all social media. So to get used to that, doing it on your stream, it can also be useful to do it on your other type of social medias as well. At least that's how I see it, how I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, we can also like integrate with your Twitter to be able to post messages, and maybe the tags will correlate. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of cool stuff there too. Plus, it'll help search, and I think we can also do a lot of cool things with, um, maybe the homepage will be built based on maybe the community team's input or something. And they'd be able to choose a tag that's featured for the day, or something like that, in order to even increase the knowledge or usage of a particular tag. There's a lot of cool things we can do with it to promote it.
Yeah, and we can make like videos maybe of like how that kind of system works, or how you can sort your tags out and everything as well, so that when people come in they know how to do that and stuff as well, like have like a little guide or something how to efficiently do that. At least that's
I
what I
think one of the benefits to tags too is that with things like charity events and whatnot, it will make it a lot easier when you're doing a charity event to actually be noticed. For those to be found a lot easier, because one of the ideas too behind the tags is that if you were to search from the homepage, for instance, for a specific like for a specific tag, like hashtag charity stream, it would list not just one category, but streams throughout every category to be able to find things easier. That it would be more open, having that ability, because um, charity streams can come in all shapes and sizes, and unfortunately, a lot on these larger platforms, a lot of charity streams get lost because, I mean, other than sitting there and um, scanning through streams for forever trying to find one, you can just find the tag for charity stream type of thing.
One other question I had that I was thinking about. So either tags are their own entity, if you will, meaning they're their own kind of interface here that you can define and add to, or tags could be a part of your title. You could add World of Warcraft here, and it would break. Okay, does it make sense for it to be its own thing? Does it make sense for it to automatically select, the WoW in your title? Does anyone have any thoughts there?
I personally would rather it be its own thing.
Yeah, you couldn't have 10 with this method because it would take out its own. Yeah.
Not only that, it would look really messy on notifications.
Yeah, I like it being its own separate line. And for the streamer, right, it could be a little bit larger, but for a viewer, we could even just show the tags under the title, pretty small. You could always click them to go to other content. Lots of stuff. Cool. All right. Yeah, Simi, I don't want to show them under here though. It's too far down. It's below the fold. I prefer
I
everything
kind of
to
like.
appear. What?
I think it'd be nice either directly under the title, like you were saying, or directly under the play button, right next to report user, so you can accidentally click it.
Double reds. But we can experiment. We can try it out. We can see which one works nicely. We don't have native theater mode as part of the alpha launch, but it doesn't mean we won't ever have it. It's just this is basically what you're going to have today, and then as we get closer and closer to real launch, I think we'll have more features like that. All right. Does anyone have anything else to say about the tag feature? Anything else they want to share? Again, I think what we'll do is we'll implement pieces of this, give it a try, and then iterate if we need to.
I noticed there was some conversation about having the tags on VODs as well. Where at the moment we don't have VODs at this given point in time. I personally think it would be easier if the tags were able to tie to the VODs directly, but
Yeah.
perhaps we give the option of after your VOD is saved, maybe you can add extra tags or remove them if you find it necessary, type of thing. I don't know how difficult that would be.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, Grand Noodle. It's basically at this point, I'm just trying to wrap up features that are critical. And there's no reason now that we have this idea in place that we can't develop it for launch. I just don't know if I want to delay. Like if we're ready to go for launch, if we've defined, hey, we have everything we need from an FTL perspective, everything we need from a payments and chat and everything perspective. I don't want to hold back launch for tags, but I also don't think that it's going to be too crazy. Like I'll probably get bored this weekend and knock out an initial version or something.
API.
So I didn't hear it. Did anyone hear anything? That was weird. It was like a ghost or something. I'm sure many would rather have the API as opposed to tags. Okay. Any other? Okay. So if not, what we'll do, if no one has any other comments, we'll end the recording here. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. I want to thank Haiwa and Paco and Simi and everyone else who participated tonight and getting this kind of mock-up working, showing it off. Thank you for the community for prioritizing this issue and bringing it up and not taking no for an answer. That's the kind of stuff that's going to make us unique and different. I think that's what's going to really help us grow. So thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. As always, this is Clone. Good night and good luck.